Hello everyone, welcome to IMU. This is Dr. Mayuran Kandasamy. I will be the host for this session. Along with me, I have Dr. Wong Pesi from the School of Pharmacy to talk about pharmacy at IMU. Without further ado, I pass the session to Dr. Pesi. Over to you, Pesi.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to just show my share my slide now. All right, great. I think it's wonderful to be able to share with all of you today. As I mentioned, I'm Dr. Wong. Okay, I'm one of the faculty here. Okay, so for those of you who are interested or to do a pharmacy course at IMU, just a bit of background. We are one of the Malaysia first and most established private and medical health sciences universities. So at IMU, pharmacy program offer complete two options basically. So we offer first option, a complete 4 years program locally in Malaysia, and also credit transfers to partner schools in New Zealand and Australia. So for those of you who wishes to pursue a pharmacy program with us, our intake time are July and September. Our partner universities, as mentioned, we have two. So the first one is the University of Tasmania in Australia, and the second one is the University of Otago in New Zealand. So those who wishes to select credit transfer may pursue first 2 years at IMU Malaysia and then transfer to one of our partners as you selected, where then you will continue 2 more years of study. So upon completion, the students will be awarded degree from the partner universities. Why should you consider IMU, or why should you consider doing pharmacy at IMU? So IMU, as mentioned, established in 1992, is the first and most foremost medical and health sciences universities. We are also the first private pharmacy education provider with over 20 years of experience. We have graduates nationwide. Okay, our graduates are highly sought after. We often get inquiries in recruitment of our graduate for pupillage training. Okay, this is also partly contributed by our strong linkages with industry. So our industry's partners will include hospital, community pharmacy, manufacturing setting. So we involve them on ongoing basis, not just for classroom teaching, but sometimes for talks, placement, seminars to better expose and prepare our students. IMU also not only have partnership with a lot of our local or nation Malaysia local setup or settings, we also have strong bonding or partnership with many overseas teaching universities. Okay, and these actually offer a lot of learning opportunities for students through research and elective placement. For those of you who wishes to apply to us, sometimes I think you might be doubtful about how do you enter a pharmacy program, or how do you apply? What are the entry requirements? So I provided here some detail. There are usually 3 basic requirements that you have to consider. The first one is the SPM or equivalent. So if you are SPM holder, we would expect at least a minimum C in PM and also English. Okay. The second requirement is that you should have a pre-university courses, example STPM, A-level, and matriculation. And the expected requirement is actually stated in the brochures. Okay. And for those who decided to do foundation, I would advise you to check with our admission office for further information. Thirdly, there are third requirement, which is the English requirement. So students should also consider, depending on whether you decide to do locally or whether you decide to transfer to partner overseas universities, the entry requirement for English is also slightly different. So all this information can be found in our brochures as well as the IMU website. For graduate, the first job is the pupillage training. So, many students were undergone after completion of 4 years of studies, and finally graduate will be wondering, how do I pursue on to go into and becoming a pharmacist, a full registered pharmacist. So for graduate, as I mentioned, the first job is pupillage training. So in other words, the graduate will be needed to actually apply and identify a site to undergo a 1-year pupillage training, as well as a 1-year mandatory service. Pupillage training site have expanded now to not just include the public setting, which is the Ministry of Health hospital. It does cover, it can include private settings such as community pharmacy, manufacturing companies as well. So you will be able to find all the accredited pupillage training site at the Pharmacy Board website as well. So we'll provide you a link in case you need it as well. Okay. Most sites recruit PRP based on their need. So graduate would need to apply to them and of course compete for some of the popular site. Okay, waiting time for PRP sometimes can be quite long. Sometimes especially for Ministry of Health site. Based on the experience from our graduate for the last few years, most of our graduates often get their PRP within 3 to 6 months. Okay, some of them are even offered prior to graduation, and often because of their very good performance during the placement itself. So which means they have performed quite well during the placement, hence they were offered, or they have shown their interest, and hence they have managed to secure the PRP even at that level. Okay, application as a fully registered pharmacist can be done after the graduate complete the training as well as the mandatory service. And of course, this may be subject to changes from time to time. So do check the website as well for more detail. Okay. We know that there is always ongoing concern about job saturation, or whether one can still find a job, knowing that they could be, worry that the market has saturated and they may not be job. Okay, we are not aware at the moment there's official data to show market saturation for pharmacists, but we do recognize that there are increasing competition in the profession as well, especially for newly graduate, okay, due to the increase of graduate over the past 10 years. Okay, but truthfully, pharmacy is known as a very diverse career with many opportunities in many settings. Okay, the job scope for pharmacists no longer just limited to setting. Example, hospital, community pharmacy, or pharmacy company, which is traditional role in knowledge of drug manufacturing, formulation, dispensing. The opportunity kept broadening now with more demand for better health. People are seeking more for medical help. People are living longer, hence they're using more medicine as well. And of course, people also demanding now safer and better medicine. Hence, the pharmacy, in order to meet their needs and demand, we are seeing that the increasing trend of pharmacists towards personalized medicine. Example, compounding special formulas. We are also seeing trend in veterinary medicine expanding, digital health. So these are the opportunities that keep broadening and would continue to expand what pharmacists could be involved in future. So obviously, there are greater and greater opportunities that a pharmacist can work on in future. I think that's my short presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Pesi. Let us now move on to the FAQs section. I have 3 very important questions from the viewers. Let us go to the first question. The first question is, how to secure a place for the provisionally registered pharmacist training?
Okay. So it depends on what one wishes to select for PRP training. So if the graduate would wish to pursue to enter a private setting, example community pharmacy, then of course the application for the position itself has to go directly to the facilities. Candidate then if the candidate has managed to secure the position, then they can register or apply to pharmacy board. Okay. For those who are interested to apply a position in Ministry of Health, application has to be made directly to Ministry of Health. Okay. This process again can change from time to time. So as I mentioned, always check with the pharmacy board for latest information. At IMU, what we normally do is we usually conduct briefing for our final year students. So these processes will then be provided to help our final year students to secure or to manage the application for PRP.
Thanks for that, PC. Now let us move on to question number 2. Question number 2 is, does IMU offer provisionally registered pharmacist training placements?
Yes, we do offer. IMU at the moment is listed as what we call premise bagi latihan provisional PRP secara liberasi, which is the R&D academic route. In other words, we are listed as one of the center for training PRP. We are listed under the research and development academic route. Okay, any particular candidate who are interested to join us for PRP will need to fulfill a 9 months of research and development work, followed by a 3-month placement in a hospital. So for further detail, you can always write into IMU for more information about our route, this PRP through R&D route at IMU. Okay, you may also check the pharmacy board website for details of our contact or people that you can contact for more information.
All right, thanks, Bessy. Let us now move on to the last question of this session. Are there any placements, be it community, hospital, or industry, within the program? And who will arrange it?
Yes, they are. They are placement at community pharmacy, hospital, as well as the manufacturing site, usually at the final year itself. Okay. However, we also offer visits in very short, visits type for students at early semesters. So that's mainly to expose them to some of the interest areas. Okay. These placements are mostly often arranged by the school. Okay, so the faculty or the lecturers will make the arrangement accordingly, usually starting at third year, and they will start to communicate with students as necessary. Okay, but in some circumstances, we do allow students to suggest, example, a community pharmacy where they would wish to do their placement. Okay, and of course, if they fulfill the criteria, we will be able to use that as one of the facility as well. So we do allow students to choose if they have something in mind as well. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Bessy. With this, we have come to the end of this session. Please visit our website, www.imu.edu.my, to know more about the university, the School of Pharmacy, and the Bachelor of Pharmacy Honours course. See you all. Thank you.
Thank you.